Welcome back to World of Warships, and welcome back on board the... Wait, what is that? Yeah, that's the one and only, my all-time favorite battleship, aside from certain Germans, the one and only Fuso, Tier 6 Japanese battleship, and I think this is, for me personally, one of the most enjoyable battleships, one of the most truest battleships in the game. It is not the most enjoyable when it is stock, but when it's fully upgraded, it is borderline overpowered. This battle is not the sheer result. I'm a bit rusty in it. I haven't played it in a very long time. I practically gave up to really play Japanese battleships now that there are the Germans. But I have this match here, which is, I think, the first game that I played in the Fuso after a very long time. And my problem was a bit overleading the enemies. Here we can see the cinematic. The game actually looks pretty nice. The camouflage, yeah, it's due to increase XP and also maybe silver income. Because World of Warships is a game that I play, yeah, for free as a free-to-play player. And so I just have to boost whatever I can boost. First salvo out, and there you can see the massive array of shells going towards the enemies. Now the first salvo was HE, and I hit not a single one. I was a bit overleading, and also it seems like I either did not aim carefully enough, or what was more likely is that the enemy turned a little bit while the salvo was in the air. Now you can say whatever you want, whatever people say about the inaccuracy of the ship, whatever they say about this and that, the Fuso still works. 6 double turrets, 12 guns, 14-inch guns, that's quite something. And of course, first shell that hits me sets me on fire, and yeah, I think I let it burn, because one fire is not the end of the world. 2 fires are dangerous, 3 fires you have to use your damage control body. God, I love those salvos. I'm using a ripple fire, and you also can fire a closed salvo. 1 hit, and yeah, 2800 damage. That's quite something. There is a destroyer, and with this battleship it's actually really worth shooting at destroyers. He will reappear soon. I wanted to switch to the battleship here, one of the ARP ships, but I was not quite sure if he was going fast enough. The destroyer reappeared. I took the aim, full salvo out. And that's AP, that's pure AP damage. Not lead enough, but still 4000 RP for 4 overpans. And this is the power of battleships. And I think, 4 big holes in a destroyer should do a lot of damage. If you, insist of, realisticness, so to speak. So this ARP ship here reverses, and I blind fire. Was probably not the best idea, as he kind of reappeared, and again I overled him. He was not really fast enough. Still, 1 over penetration, 2 penetrations, 6000 damage. And this is not the very best result. In this moment I'm actually, how to say it, I'm doing not much at the moment. This is pretty boring to watch. Battleship gameplays, they have to always feature something very unusual to get exciting. And yes, I love to stop the commentary for just hearing this tappa 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 of the salvo. Again, a bit overleading against the Bayern. Still a lot of damage, 4000 again or 5000 for 2 penetrations and 1 over penetration. So how this is actually calculated, it always is a bit weird. I mean, yeah, there is the superstructure, saturated areas against HE. penetrations in non-vital parts whatsoever. So this Bayern is a tough nut to crack. I know this myself. I still think in a Fuso, in the long run, you have the advantage. But yeah, I'm turning here around and I'm actually aiming to the port. So, or to the left hand side if you will, to rotate the guns around. Again, this is just a 1-point captain and I have chosen priority target as this gives me just simply the best option. And those were just the 3 front turrets, or 2 front turrets and 1 mid turret. That's when it's gonna run forward. Yeah, so far the result, just 21,000 damage, you know, but not much has happened so far. And I'm just, you know, I'm not very far out from the front line, but it's, you know, spread across the map, so to speak. So it's not like a lemming train versus lemming train. It's evenly spread out, so I'm moving forwards and backwards and just using the fantastic firepower of my ship. I try to do it as good as I can, but so far I have not really done too much. And then British light cruisers. Haha, Citadel hit. Nice. I love it. So that's a good beginning. Now what's next? So at this moment the Bayern on the north end of the map is disengaging. He's harassed by a cruiser and a battleship and a destroyer. He wisely decides to retreat, and here we can see the shell cam. The ship just got destroyed, but I would not have hit anyways. Yeah. And then there is one of the arch nemesis of a Fuso, and that's a carrier. But I start my spotter plan. I am carefully taking the lead into account, correcting. He's going slow, and I'm spreading out here a little bit. Again, this is not a mod. This is, I think, customized within the game. And the servo looks pretty on point. Yeah, but at that distance, just 2 over penetrations, not too much damage. Now let's hope for the best for the next salvo. So the Fuso is, as you can see here, a long range damage dealer. The reload is, I guess, 27 seconds compared to the 30 or 35 seconds on the New Mexico and the 30 seconds on the Bayern and the Fuso. So tier 6 battleships are very enjoyable. Double Citadel on a carrier, yes! Oh, that feels good. So now we are in the game. Nearly 60,000 damage. So I did my own health in damage and I have lost not a lot. Now that leaves room for arguments like, yeah, you do not really the battleship job, you know, of taking damage. Yeah, but the Fuso is not a New Mexico or a Bayern or to a certain degree also a Warspite. So it is not really made of pure thick steel. It is a bit more fragile. And it's also not the fastest, to be honest. Around about 25 knots. That was the last salvo on the carrier. And yeah, let's see if I can bring him down. So the salvo is in the air, he disappears, 3 over penetrations, that's not a lot of damage, around about 4,000 damage I guess. There is again one of the ARP ships. Yeah, and it's, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, this is kind of a variant of the Congo. And the Congo is the tier 5 predecessor. And it's much faster, it's more like a battle cruiser. But I think everybody that has switched to the slower Fuso will, you know, always say it's a real big trade-off to go back to the Congo. I mean, the Congo is enjoyable. 4 guns of the same caliber, and yeah, decent AAA, but not that much firepower, not so enjoyable. And yeah, I think that nobody will trade that for the Fuso. I mean, this is the first fast battleship or battle cruiser, the Congo or its variants. But nobody would trade it for the Fuso. And this guy always turns when I'm just about to be reloaded, so I can't do a lot of damage. I fire anyway. Maybe I should switch to HE, but now I have to turn to go back into the battle. As you could see, a lot of ships now have died. A lot of ships have gone down and taken serious damage. I just have to go back into the battle right now. And the turret rotation speed is not the fastest. It's yeah. But still, for my just 3 forward-facing turrets, I have 3/4 of the firepower of the Congo, or the up variant, while turning. And now I'm not quite sure how to move. I probably should go to the port, or the left, but instead I move to the right, and he targets me with his front guns. His back guns are swinging around. He wants to fight with me. Yeah, and there are the the dive bombers, and where dive bombers are, you know, you can expect also a lot of torpedo bombers, and there they come. Double fire on me, really good drop. I just don't have the maneuverability to really avoid it, especially against a experienced carrier. I already tried to turn into them, but still I eat 2 of them. I popped my damage control party a bit early, so then I could reduce the damage by fire, but he still hits me good for 3.3k. And now he's bow on, and yeah, he's practically crossing the T. In World of Warships, that's an advantage. In real battles, that always was a disadvantage. So I fire, but the shells just, they did a lot of damage. 6,000. He's very low. I try to reduce the damage for the next salvo by turning in, but he still hits me quite hard. But I put him down. And now this is a British light cruiser. Their AP still does a lot of damage despite their relatively low caliber. And he turns, and I just waited for that. And yeah, the inevitable Citadel. Together with the penetration and 2 over penetrations, that's putting him down. Over 90,000 damage, and I've now tanked. It was not the optimal battle, but that's not the reason why I show you this. Overall, I think I cannot make a simple video or a single video to show you how much I love this. I had incredible battles with incredible damage numbers in the Fuso. That were even, you know, rivaling with my Tidbits games in the early days when it was released, and I purchased it before all the power creep, the, you know, nerf to the Tidbits, the buff to other battleships like the Turtleback of the Amagi, all the cruisers, the, you know, all that stuff. 4 over penetrations. My CV took care of the enemy fighter bombers or torpedo bombers. So yeah, with the next salvo I should put him down. You can see there is no smoke coming out, so he must be standing still, and the next salvo hits hard, putting me above 100,000 damage and also giving me my 3rd kill. Now there is a cruiser shooting me, and yeah, I could not really turn. Also had to stay bow on to fight with this other Fuso. And yeah, I reduced the damage. Now, to put the Fuso into perspective, I don't really fear a New Mexico. I also do not really fear too much, you know, something like a Warspite. I have respect for the Bayern, but I absolutely fear a Fuso in my Bismarck, because the sheer damage output, if you just want to get your secondaries to work. Yes, ultimately you will put a Fuso down if played correctly to your strength and you can close the distance. But the damage that it can deal to you is just... I don't like it. I don't like to fight Fusos, but I like to fight in them. And that was a really good salvo. And I turned into them to actually negate a lot of damage. And you can see the next salvo, the ranging shots fall short. He corrects the aim, full broadside, and just 2,200 damage. Yeah, he heals up. I take a lot of health away again with just one hit, one penetration, and now I swing my back turrets around, and this time I give him all I have got. Double fire onto me, direct, immediately damage control potty. I mean, 2 fires, you know, just one enemy cruiser left, and it's just now that I realize, hey, yeah, this is problematic. This one cruiser has kept at least one capture zone so far. 3 are in the hands of the you know, enemy, and he's going for the 4th one. And our CV, yeah, he tries to spot him, but now you can see the slow part about the Fuso turning around this island, and the cruiser is behind an island. If he plays it correctly, he has no chance. We are leading by quite some bit, but he takes out or captures our last capture zone. The destroyer is too far away, and I also cannot really go into the capture zone fast enough, and the point gained by the enemy team is quite drastical. We're still in the lead by quite some bit, but you know, it will be the other way around soon, and the game is about to end. Just 3 minutes 20 seconds left, and also not a lot of points, you know. So yeah, and this looks like a, is that a Degras? Yeah, it's a Degras. That's one of the new French cruisers. Yes, it is. I predicted him turning, but I'm still a bit rusty, so all the shells fall into the water. I should have waited up until the point that he really turned. I would have interrupted the capture zone, but I was not really sure. So I now capture at least one of them, but they're just about to get into the lead. Just 14 points remaining. Yeah, 2 points remaining. I fire still ahead, but it's not good enough, and yeah, this time I do not lead enough. It's not the worst lead, 1 penetration, but it's not good enough. And that is now the point where I screwed it up. With that one salvo, I had to delete him. I just simply had to delete him. And yeah, I cannot really fire back. Even the reload there is not good enough. If I had Adrenaline Rush, which I got with this battle, I probably could have gone off the salvo. What were my mistakes? Well, not too many, but still 135,000 damage in a tier 6 battleship with 5 citadels. Yeah, it's quite something, and this was kind of a heartbreaker. Yeah, sadly it was. So that's the Fuso gameplay for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. I really like the Fuso. If you really want to go for a battleship line in World of Warships, you either have to pick the Germans or the Japanese. All other battleship lines are, well, the American battleship line is not that enjoyable for me. So that's now the end of the battle. You saw the result screens. I got a lot of commander XP due to a lot of flags, and first win of the day. No. Yeah, it was not the first win of the day. But now I take either Expert Marksman or Adrenaline Rush. And to further reduce the already really good reload speed on the Fuso is something that I would, yeah, that I choose. This is a freshly new captain. This was his first battle, and I will see how it's going. So this will be definitely not the last Fuso gameplay. Again, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we will see each other on the waves of World of Warships.